Welcome to Sara's Kitchen Garden, day 5 with my YouTube live challenge, where I am going to broadcast live at YouTube each day for a week. It's been great fun and I think I have learned so much. I think the best thing that I have learned is not to be so afraid of speaking English when I'm doing a live stream. I was very nervous the first times, but I feel more comfortable now. So thank you for your support. I have had this English YouTube channel for quite a while now. It all started in last summer, 2017, after I had an interview with Monty Don, the gardener from England. And I published it at my Swedish YouTube channel, and I saw that plenty of people watched the video. So I thought, well, why not do an English version of my kitchen garden at YouTube for English videos? And well, what I can tell, you like it. And I do too. So thank you for watching. I have never done a proper presentation, I think, of myself. So today I would like to try to do one. So what you see now is my kitchen garden. And this is quite an ordinary kitchen garden or garden in Sweden, except the fact that I grow almost every vegetable that we need for my family the whole year round. We buy some vegetables if it's needed, if something went wrong during the season, for example. But most of it I grow here in our garden. And the garden started as a project 2011. And I use the word project because I'm very comfortable with that. When I was 16, I am brought up on an island outside Gothenburg, and I went to school in Gothenburg. And when I was 16, I wanted to be a captain. I wanted to be like an officer in the Navy, driving big ships. That was my dream. My father is a boat builder, so I think I have been quite influenced by the sea and by driving boats, and I was sailing a lot when I was a child. So I wanted to do the military service and become an officer in the Navy. But when I was 16 or 15, I started an education in school, learning how to do like media things. And it happened so that I just fell in love with radio. I thought it was fantastic. And I was very, encouraged by my teachers, saying that, well, you have a lovely voice and you really know how to use it and talk, so why not do radio? So I got myself a job, and I have been doing radio since I was 16. I am 40, turned 40 this year. So I am born 78. And I did radio all my days, practically. And when I was 18, I left Gothenburg, moved to another city, a very small city, starting my own radio channel. And 2 years later, I applied for a job at the Swedish broadcasting radio, public service radio in Sweden, doing a youth program about music. And I did that for 2 years, still loving radio. But after 2 years, I was headhunted to television. So someone phoned me saying, well, we want you to work with TV. And at that point, we didn't have like a Swedish children's channel at TV. That was just, people thought that was a crazy idea. But I was one in the team starting the children's channel in Sweden. And that was a great job. So I kept doing that, and I made radio and everything. I lived in a very small house, a few kilometers away from here. But while doing this children's program, when doing children's program, a huge part of the work is to find children, to interview and to host shows and everything. So you have to you have to find children. And it's very easy to do in a big city, but being brought up outside a big city, I wanted to find, children living on the countryside and with a different story. So I rang to a school in a very small village, finding Erica, and immediately, she was 8 years then, a tiny little girl, beautiful, lovely in any way, and she invited me to her home, and I kept saying no for like 1 or 2 years because you simply don't, I was hosting a show, and you simply don't go visiting children that been a part of the program. But one day she rang me and she said, I have turned 10 years, and for birthday present I had a horse, a pony named Nico. Can you please come visit me? And I did. So I come to this village. It's not a village. This is, it's like 5 houses. And a few hundred meters away from here, there's a small hill. Our house is based on a very small hill. And in that direction, there's a barn, and that was where she had her horse. So we went up that hill, and I saw this amazing house that was just a wreck. It was a total mess in the garden, and the house nearly, fell apart. And I looked at it and I said to her, that's the house of my dreams, And she pulled my arm saying, they're going to sell it, right? So I went home to the tiny house. I wrote a note and I put it on my fridge saying, I shall have that house. So I rang the owner for, once a week for a couple of months. That was in October, my first visit here. And in January, we had made quite a shitty start of a program, and I was so unhappy. And then saying just, all right, so I'll make that phone call. It can't be any worse. And I rang the phone call, and they said, well, you can buy the house. It's yours. Oh, really? So I pretty much moved in the same day as I had the key. It was a few weeks later. There was no water in the house, no toilet, no shower. So I had, this camping toilet. And I slept in a sleeping bag, and I just, I was 25, I think, 24 or 25 at that moment. And so I bought this house on my own because I fell in love with it. And a few years later, I fell in love with Philip. And that was even more important, of course, than falling in love with the house. But since I hadn't done any, I didn't do anything with the house because I couldn't afford so much. So I just locked the door and I moved to Stockholm for 3 years with Philip, and we kept the house, of course, and we spent plenty of time here. And my big interest at that time was to renovate houses. So that was what I did with my first house as well. And when living in Stockholm, we had our first child, Otto. That is nearly 10 years ago. And when moving back here, we quite soon had our second child, Vico, and I found it was not possible to renovate the house as I wanted to do it, because before renovating the house, painting and carpenting and everything, it was relaxing to me, but it was more stressful having 2 children. They did, the most dangerous things ever. I just didn't want that. So then I thought, why not making this dream come true, because I wanted to sort of wrap the whole house in green and flowers and everything. So I made plans. I made plans and plans and plans, and nothing ever happened because each and every plan I made it all so complicated. So whenever someone asks me now about how to start gardening, I just say, you just start, because you are going to make another plan the other day. You're going to change the plans all the time. Just start. That's the most important thing. All right. But I didn't start until a neighbor came across saying, all right, do you want me to help you? Because, I have this machine. Oh, and I totally forgot that my neighbor had, a digger. Yeah, sure, I said, you can come help me. When can you come? I can come tomorrow, he said. all right. So he came the day after, and I just said, well, dig there. And that was in front of the house, and it turned out to be 350 square meter garden. So that was 2011. I have some gardening experience, but not in a big area like this. I have been growing in containers and in balconies and in pallet collars, and well, mostly like common people do. But that really didn't make me that interested, so you can call it some kind of explosion. I was not like stoned by gardening, but when I had this big garden, something happened, because quite soon I could realize how much food I could produce. And in a big area, it's not quite the same as in a small area, because you don't see the mistakes as clearly as you do when you have a small garden. In the big garden you can harvest and still afford mistakes, and that is very important to me. So then, standing there with 350 square meter garden, not knowing quite what to do with it, I decided to do something that I do know something about, and that is to make a project, right? So I stepped into the kitchen saying to my husband, I'm going to make a project. I am going to be self-supportive, self-sustainable. What do you say? Well, I will provide my family with greens from this kitchen garden. I will do it within 3 years. Year number 1, 2011, I will create the kitchen garden. 2012, I will try to grow as many vegetables as possible to learn how to do it. 2013, we will not buy a single vegetables from June till December, so 6 months. And if I manage to do that, I will write a book. And that is the truth. And then I just started. So that was 3 years, and after the first season, we were, both Philip and I and the children, amazed about what happened to our cooking and to our life. We spoke about those vegetables all the time, it seemed, and we were, we decided we cannot be without a kitchen garden. We wanted to do this so much. So that was 2013, and I started to do my blog in Swedish. Actually, it started with a Facebook page in 2012, and that is a story as well, because I worked then at the Swedish radio as a part of a team doing the most listened program at the Swedish radio at that moment. And that was a kids program, a news program for kids, junior in P4. And when you are doing a radio program, you need to have, social accounts to manage the program's accounts. And I didn't have a Facebook account because I thought that was ridiculous. I hated Facebook. So I was kind of forced to have a Facebook account. And when I finally got it, I said to myself, well, if you're going to do this, you will have to learn how to do this well. So I decided to, in my own private Facebook, post one post each day, just to learn how it works. And I didn't want to share something from the family or myself really, so I decided to share one garden picture each day. And quite soon my friends and totally unknown strangers started to like those pictures. They wanted to know more about the garden projects. So I made a page for the garden. And in only a short while, thousands of people liked this page and follow it. So in 2014, it was a blog, and I could then sort of sell the blog to a magazine. And I could quit my job at the Swedish radio, writing about this garden. I had like public speeches, and at the same time I managed to get a contract for a book at the publisher. And now, a few years later, my blog is the most well-read and popular garden blog in the northern countries. And I have like 10 or 12 people working for me in different ways, not producing the content. I do that myself, but they are sort of helping me publishing it in different sites. And in just a few weeks we are publishing the English version of the blog. And that is amazing. One can actually do this. I know I am not a rich person, but I am rich, in experience, and I have a lovely life, and I am able to do this having great fun at work, and I just love my life. It's amazing. So one can actually do a whole lot of things if you believe in it and if you do it well. So to me now, talking to you is also a big experience, because I am so interested to hear about your gardening experience in the United States, the Canada, and I know people from Russia is watching as well, and we all grow our vegetables in similar conditions in a way, and totally different in other ways. So to me, it's a new thing to have contact with you, and I think it's so interesting, and I so much appreciate you taking time writing to me and supporting me. And Jennifer asked me if my book is in English. I have written 2 books, one about the garden, how I created it, and one about food, how I grow to sort of prepare my kitchen for the food. And in August my 3rd book is coming, and it is about winter gardening. And next spring in 2019 the 4th book is coming, and it is about how I garden together with the children. And my hope, of course, is that we will be able to translate the books in English in some way. I mean, there are a lot of opportunities doing this as a digital content, for example, at the website or whatever, but we are working with a publisher with really great ideas, so I hope sooner or later that it will be possible. It's freezing cold. Now you know a bit about the story, about my garden and about myself. I am a journalist. I have been doing radio and TV for all my life. I love it. I love talking. I love writing. I'm not a very good photographer, but well, I just love this. And it's all possible to do because you are watching. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I am going to go indoors and put my children to bed, and also my plants. I will bring some of them in because it's going to be cold tonight. It's dark already, I see. Thank you all for watching today, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow again in this project by sending live at YouTube. Have a lovely Friday evening. Take care, all of you. Bye bye.